Off the Beaten Path. Off the Beaten Path. Brand new country. And we're not talking that top 40 crap either. This is where you can hear great singers and songwriters, and they just don't have the backing when it comes to labels. Guest interviews and everything from pop country to bluegrass and folk to hip-hop. This is Off the Beaten Path.
Off the Beaten Path podcast, me, Ben Merritt. Welcome to an episode that I have been waiting for so long. I had the opportunity to chat with our special guest before the Grammys back in mid-February, early February, when she was still just a nominee. She's still just a nominee, unfortunately, but I had to play it up. I was like, oh yeah, you could win, you could not, blah, blah, blah. She still has 4 more Grammy nominations than I could ever dream for having, unless they add a podcasting category. I don't think I'm ever even going to get a nomination. But 4-time Grammy nominee, a couple of CMA Award nominations, and a win, and also a British Country Music Award Association as well, too. Brandy Clark is our special guest for this episode. I'm so excited. Lots of strong female singers on this episode, plus a couple of other guys. We check in with family members, the Black Lilies, and we're going to hear from Kacey Donahue, too, who is another former family member here, too. But, like I said, strong female singer-songwriters, and, well, the song title gives it away. Hashtag Get Awesome. Her name is Julia Cole, and it's right here, Off the Beaten Path, with me, Ben Merritt.
Slap the bag of Franzia. Dance on tables, kiss my friends, text my ex and make no sense. But I'm not drunk, 'cause I don't get drunk.
Please welcome the one and only
Off the Beaten Path with Ben Merritt.
You are like a mountain, and the mountain does not move. I'm just a river. This time can only move. Now I'm changing with the seasons. Yes, I'm rising to your knees. Though I know that I have hurt you, I don't know what you need. What you need, oh. Just above the west horizon is a single shining star. I think it could be Venus. Can you see where you are? I come and go in pieces. Can you tell me where to start? Where to start? Oh. I'd be better off to let it go, but that's just not who I am. Yes, I love you for your mystery, far too deep to understand. But don't let that mountain crumble or turn itself to sand, into sand. Just above the west horizon is a single shining star. I think it could be Venus. Can you see it where you are? I come and go in pieces. Can you tell me where to start? Where to start?
Off the Beaten Path podcast, meet Ben Merritt. He had an existential crisis at age 11, but it kind of only developed his musical sound just that much more, and he realized that music is the language of the universe. Yeah, he just blew my mind right there, too. That is Jay Nash with Where to Start. Ben Merritt hanging out with you here on Off the Beaten Path podcast. Yeah, my head is not big enough to think about those kind of topics. Ugh. We got your family reunion coming up, the Black Lilies and Casey Donahue as well. But first, from existential crises at age 11 to age 10 making professional music, signed to Starstruck Records with Narvel Blackstock and Reba McEntire as her mentor. And she's been on tour with her internationally for 2 years now. Her name is Caroline Cole, and this is her latest single called Ready, Set, Run. It's Off the Beaten Path with me, Ben Merritt.
I've got a chance and I'm gonna take it. If it's a mistake, it's one worth making. Want my cake and I'm gonna eat it. It's only a dream if you don't believe it. I don't wanna wait, won't hesitate. I don't wanna wait. Ready, set, run. Feet don't fail me now. Ready, set, run. Heart don't let me down. I wanna be fearless, chase this feeling like a bullet from a smoking gun. 3, 2, 1. Ready, set, I don't want you to think for a minute I'm gonna quit it. I'm in it to win it. I'm not saying I'm not being reckless or all kinds of careless. All I know is I don't wanna wait, won't hesitate. I don't wanna wait, no. Ready, set, run. Feet don't fail me now. Ready, set, run. Heart don't let me down. I wanna be fearless, chase this feeling like a bullet from a smoking gun. 3, 2, 1. Ready, set, run. 3 words, 2 hearts, 1 life. 3 words, 2 hearts, 1 love. Ready, set, run. Feet don't fail me now. Oh baby, here I come. Ain't nothing gonna slow me down. Oh, ready, set, run. Feet don't fail me now. Ready, set, run. Heart don't let me down. I wanna be fearless, chase this feeling like a bullet from a smoking gun. 3, 2, 1.
Off the Beaten Path
Music. Now.
with Ben Merritt.
I've been working my fingers to the bone. Every day, one more day done gone. Show me a sign so that I can see the sun's gonna shine one day on me. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there. Get your foot in the door and don't just sit there. I don't need you, but I want you, and I wish that you could see. You're hard to please, so hard to please. Some take, and some gonna give it. At the end of the day, it's all about the same. Ain't nobody else that you can blame for your own damn troubles and the way you go. Buck up now, you got a long ways home. It's like I said, when you end up there, there's nowhere to go. You're hard to please, so hard to please. Ain't nothing ever good enough for you. You got me down on my knees. You're gonna have your way no matter which way. Say whatever you're gonna say. You're hard to please. Tell me once more so that I can hear all the things you know and all the things you fear. Do what you want, 'cause at the end of the day, you know just what I say. You're hard to please. I'm so hard to please. You're hard to please. I'm so hard to please. You're hard to please. So hard to please. Ain't nothing ever good enough for you. You got me down on my knees. I'm gonna have your way no matter which way. Say whatever you're gonna say. You're hard to please. So hard to please. You're hard to please. So hard to please.
Off the Beaten Path podcast, me, Ben Merritt. There you go. The Black Lilies had the opportunity to talk to Cruz Contreras, lead singer and songwriter from the Black Lilies, about 2.5 years ago. Anyway, always a great time to hear some new stuff from the Black Lilies. That one is called Hard to Please. It is the title track off the Black Lilies album called Hard to Please. That's why it's a title track. Anyway, Ben Merritt taking you through some great new stuff. Stick around. We still have Brandy Clark as our special guest, very special guest for this episode, and we've got some other great stuff still on the way as well. I promise I will get you some more guys and some strong female voices on this episode. You know what? That's not terrible, but I'm just saying, strong ladies today. That's what we're into. Well, I don't know if he would accept being called a lady, so I'm not gonna. His name is Kacey Donahue. This is the Kacey Donahue Band. And it is his latest track called Feels This Right. Kacey Donahue of the Kacey Donahue Band, right here on Off the Beaten Path family reunion stuff.
It's been a long week working on the line. 80-hour weeks keep you off my mind. I got sick and tired of all you running around. Everybody talking about me in this town. Everybody talking about me in this town. I'm looking for a all-night party song. My crew sings along, 'cause when it feels this right, it can't be wrong. 'Cause I like trucks and I love beer. I want a soft sub, I want to sing and pull me near. Off a blacktop, down a dirt road that never ends. And I'm looking for a bonfire and some pasture land, a cool running river, a drink in my hand. I'm not trying to live a love song tonight. I can't be wrong when it feels this right. I got a pocket full of money and it's burning a hole. Holding on tight and now I'm letting it go. And I'm cinched up ready, I was born to run. I ain't stopping till I see the sun. We ain't drive until we see the sun. I'm looking for a all-night party song. Want my crew sings along, 'cause when it feels this right, it can't be wrong. 'Cause I like trucks and I love beer. I want a soft southern woman singing pull me near, off a blacktop down a dirt road that never ends. And I'm looking for a bonfire and some pasture land, a cool running river, a drink in my hand. I'm not trying to live a love song tonight. No, I can't be wrong when it feels this right. No, I think about love or a love gone wrong. I'm gonna do my best to drink you gone. I got plenty of beer and the whiskey strong. I'm looking for a all-night party song. Want my crew sings along, 'cause when it feels this right, it can't be wrong. 'Cause I like trucks and I love beer. I want a soft southern woman singing pull me near, off a blacktop down a dirt road that never ends. And I'm looking for a bonfire and some pasture land, a cool running river, a drink in my hand. I'm not trying to live a love song tonight.
Time for some music now.
I can't be wrong when it feels this right.
Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt. This is one of the interviews that I've been so excited about. I'm super excited about this because every once in a while I actually get to talk to somebody who is one of the driving forces of country music. I've talked to Colt Ford, who's given so many other people there an opportunity with his record label and his opportunity to give back. The person that I've got on the phone right now is a name that you might recognize from her first single, Stripes, which we'll take a listen to in a little bit. But if you're a music nerd such as myself, you'll recognize her name from Writer's Line. She has been involved in some of the biggest songs in country music in the last couple of years. Mama's Broken Hearts, Kacey Musgraves' Follow Your Arrow, Biscuits, all of those songs, along with songs for Reba, Kenny Rogers, all these guys, all these big names in country music, and they all come to one specific person, and her name is Brandy Clark. Brandy, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. That wasn't too much, was it?
No, that's never too much. You could go on a little longer if you want.
Oh, all right. She's a four-time Grammy nominee. She's got a couple of awards as her own. Let's see, CMA Awards. She's won the British Musical Awards?
Oh, that's right. I forget about that, yes.
I've won too many awards. I can't remember them all. Anyway, well, Brandy, before we get too much further into patting you in the back, I've got a couple icebreaker questions. Are you ready for this?
Okay,
all right.
Totally.
Question number one, and you feel free to be as specific or non-specific as you would like to be, because more than likely you won't be there when they listen to this interview. Are you ready?
Yes.
Where are you right now?
I'm sitting on my couch in my living room.
Okay, so there's a good chance that you might be there when this interview comes out, but that's only because it's home base.
Yeah.
Is it a day off, or have I gotten you too early in the day before you've got, like, writing appointments and all that?
No, it's actually a travel day. When I get done with this interview, I've got to pack and fly to Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, well, good. Well, hopefully I don't keep you too much longer then. All right. So I guess we'll just move forward. The icebreaker question number 2 is one of my favorite ones, and I feel like I'm going to get a really good response from you because of how diverse you are musically. I've previously asked, where's your favorite place to play? What are you wearing? Mm-hmm. What did you have for lunch? I've asked those silly questions. This is one that I've been getting a lot of really good responses. If we were to hit eject in your car stereo or turn your iPad on and just fire up the last thing, what was the last thing you were listening to?
Well, last night it was the Carpenters.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, because I was telling the guy, I've been out on a radio tour, and oftentimes we'll get asked to play a cover. Mm-hmm. And, I usually go to like a George Strait, like The Chair or something like that. But I have a guy out with me who is also accompanying me on guitar, and he's a great singer. And I said, if we did a non-country cover, I said, I'd love it if we did something by the Carpenters, since he's with me and can do such a great job. And so I was actually listening to Superstar last night.
Well, there you go. Just trying to build your recollection of the song so that you could do those again, or?
Yeah, well, make sure that I had all the chords right. But on the regular these days, if you were to just go to my iPod, I've been listening to the Brothers Osborne record Pawn Shop a lot.
Oh,
that's
yes.
often in there.
Yeah.
And then, Old Dominion, Meat and Candy, I listen to that a lot.
There you go. Definitely. The Brothers Osborne Pawn Shop, I was touting the release of that one to my dad. My dad is a country music, he's a newbie to country music. He, was a classic rock guy when I was growing up as a kid, Seeger and Boston and Creedence Clearwater Revival and all those. And then once I got into country music, and keep in mind I've been in country radio for 10 years now, but for the last maybe 4 years, he's been like, all right, I should probably give this country thing a try. So I told him, I was like, get the Brothers Osborne album. It's amazing. And he told me, he's like, it's like stuck in my CD player. I can't take it out now. So, but he means he means that in a good way.
It's that record, it really inspires me in all ways. As a songwriter, as a singer, sonically, they worked with they worked with Jay Joyce, who I worked with on this current record, Big Day in a Small Town. And I listen to it differently, having worked with Jay and hear the parts of it that are Jay influenced, and it's just a great body of work.
Now, Jay is basically like one of the producers that can run the entire gamut of country music. He's commonly affiliated with like Florida Georgia Line and all that too, right?
No. He produces Little Big Town and Eric Church.
It must be a different, reasonably recognizable name that works with them. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
So pay no attention.
Not that he wouldn't work with them. I don't know who works with them, but it's not him.
Okay. I think it's another Jay. Anyway, I'll move on because it's just a silly thing, me trying to figure it out now. So, you've got a bit of an interesting background in your own. Is it true that your grandmother basically used you as a model for the I skied down Mount St. Helens as a child?
That is true. Yes, that's very true.
I've seen those T-shirts online, and I always find those kind of funny from way back in, 1980 when that erupted?
Yeah, well, and what's funny about her is my grandpa was a welder, and so she had him take a blowtorch and blow holes in them to look, like they'd been hit with hot mud. And she, instead of getting like 100% cotton shirt, she got a cotton poly blend. Mm-hmm. And so they sort of melted. And so they were kind of itchy to wear. I do remember that. Like, they weren't the funnest shirt to wear.
That's got to be kind of interesting. I mean, that's a story that you would tell people, I feel like. I mean, that's, not too many grandmothers, A, use their grandchild as a model, but secondly, I mean, that's a touristy thing. That's a very touristy thing to sell to people.
Well, yeah, I mean, those people were coming there to see the mountain or what was left of it, and so she thought she'd make a buck, I'm sure. But, yeah, I think she sold quite a few of them. That's
kind of interesting. That's kind of fun. But your dad, was he a lumberjack, or did he just work the mill? Or?
He was a logger. He worked in the woods, actually. Oh, cool. So, yeah.
That's, where I currently am living, I told you off air, we've got a pretty industrious timber industry up here. Industrious timber industry. That was redundant. But we've got paper mills. You were, on the other hand, were doing like fencing and actual like slats and things like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was when I was growing up, there were 3 or 4 mills in my hometown, and there was a cedar fencing mill. That's where my mom worked. She was a human resource director and like a safety manager at that mill. Mm-hmm. And then there were like the other mills, made like 2x4s and bigger wood, like for housing, and plywood. There was a plywood mill. I remember that. So it was all. It's crazy now when I go into Home Depot, I'll see the stamps from those different mills on different wood products in Home Depot and Lowe's.
It's kind of like view behind the curtain. You kind of, it's like, I know where that wood came from kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is always kind of a fun trick to just, play on everybody. Like, hey, I can tell you where that log came from. I don't know. Maybe not. Anyway, Brandy is a very amazing performer. I love the 12 Stripes, or the 12 Stories album. From start to end, I was telling you, it's one of those albums that I just put on, I listen to it from beginning to end, and you feel like you go on a whole journey. Yes, it's 12 different stories, and yes, they are different characters, but you feel like it could all happen in like one town, I think.
I hope so. I mean, I hope that both of these records, make you feel like they're taking place in your town, whether it is a small town like the little town I grew up in, or a big town like New York City.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that you feel like, oh, I know that person, or I am that person, and I've been to that place. If that's how someone feels, then I feel like I've done my job.
Yeah, the relatability of the music is definitely, as a songwriter and a performer, I'm sure that's something that you really strive for. I mean, the big deal behind country music is, at least on my end, the way that I look at it is the artists are so reachable, and is that the word I'm looking for? No, it's like you guys are just so down to earth and attainable. It kind of makes it even more relatable if it sounds like you wrote a song about my town and where I grew up.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, the debut single of your performing career and the big first release off of that 12 Stories album was called Stripes. Tell us a little bit about that, and we'll take a listen to it.
Stripes, that's a daydream about what you would do if you didn't care, if you weren't so vain, you catch somebody cheating on you and you love to shoot them, but you don't look good in orange, and like all women, hate horizontal stripes. And so really it's just a real fun daydream. It's kind of funny. I feel like my favorite line in there was the crime of passion ain't worth a crime of fashion. It's one of the more catchy lines in there, I think. Yeah, and it's it's pretty true. I think most of us, it's like this is sort of off topic, but I was watching an interview with a doctor, and he said the only way he's ever found to get women to quit smoking is to tell them that it's going to make them look old. So not the fact that it's going to kill you or anything like that, but it's going to give you lines around your mouth. And I think that says so much about women and our vanity and how we want to look good. And I know men have a good deal of vanity too, but as women, I think we are a little more vain and a little more tuned into that. And so Stripes plays on that in a real fun way.
Is it a bad thing that I've got no problem with wearing blaze orange? I guess that probably means that I don't have a problem going to jail or something like that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, and I have to say, I wear a good bit of orange because I am a University of Tennessee fan, and they have an obnoxious orange. So, I need to practice what I preach a little more, I guess. Or maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? So, also, I'll edit out that part where it says it's an obnoxious orange, by the way.
Okay. Good.
Well, Brandy, stick around. We'll talk a little bit more, and we'll talk about the new album that's due out soon. But first, let's take a listen to it. Here is Stripes. It's Miss Brandy Clark on Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt.
Whoa.
Stop and just itching to pull it. The only thing keeping me from losing my head. 'Cause I hate stripes, and orange ain't my color. And if I squeeze that trigger tonight, I'll be wearing one or the other. There's no crime of passion worth a crime of fashion. The only thing saving your life is that I don't look good in orange, and I whole town staring at the picture in the paper of me wearing stripes. There's no crime of passion worth the crime of fashion. The only thing saving your life is that I don't look good in orange and I hate stripes. And orange ain't my color. If I squeeze that trigger tonight, I'll be wearing one or the other. There's no crime of passion worth the crime of fashion. The only thing saving your life is that I don't look good in orange and I hate stripes. Whoa.
So there you go. That was the big debut single for Miss Brandy Clark. That's Stripes. Brandy, how are you?
I'm good.
Did you get any?
Better after hearing that.
Did you get any packing done while we were listening to that, maybe, or no?
No, I've
Oh.
just been here not doing anything.
Well, I was just wondering. I mean, if you gotta like run out the door, might as well take some time. You know the song better than anyone. You know when you should probably get ready to start talking again or something. So
Yeah, that's true.
he's like, "Oh, here comes the second bridge. I'm gonna probably have about 30 seconds left, and then I'm gonna have to go."
Yeah, I know when I hear whoa, it's time to. Okay, take a deep breath. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. All right. So yeah, that one was a big success. Definitely the 12 Stories album was widely received as an awesome debut album from a new artist. But you're not a new artist per se. You're just new performer, I would put it in better terms. Because the writing is definitely an artistry on its own. And you've been writing singles for the names like Reba McEntire, Miranda Lambert, Kacey Musgraves. Your very first number one as a writer was for the band Perry. That's got to be kind of awesome.
Yeah, it is, and it was, and I remember for years wanting a number one record, and I had a lot of songs recorded and singles that just didn't go anywhere on artists. And when Ben Perry came out with Better Dig 2 and it went to number one, it was an amazing time, and it felt a little like a monkey off my back, Okay, I've got that. I had number one record, and it feels good,
Yeah.
So,
But now we gotta work on getting you a number one as a performer.
yeah, now that'll be another. I'll tell you what, when that happens, that'll be the shot heard around the world.
That'll be the silverback gorilla off your back, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of fun because you are known across Nashville and the country music scene for writing the real sassy, women's empowerment kind of songs for, Miranda and Kacey and, all that. But you've also written, like, you were part of the Drunk Americans team for Toby Keith. And, you've written stuff for Keith Urban and Darius Rucker and David Nail. Some of the guys even come to you as, a driving force in their music, too, which is great.
Yeah. No, when I'm writing songs, I just sit down and I try to write what's in the room that day.
Mm-hmm.
And, and so I couldn't write most of those guy songs by myself because I feel like, to write a guy song, you really need a guy in the room singing it. Because I could write some of that maybe some of it, I don't know, I say that, some of that male material, but because I do think some things are just universal, like love songs. Those can be very male or female.
I wouldn't say Drunk Americans is a love song in any way.
No, that's true. That's very true. You're right. So, but you need that male voice in the room to get it in the right vocal range. So if I'm in the room with a couple of guys and they want to write a guy song, I'm all about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've got a track record. It's definitely a thing that you can handle. So I think if there's anybody out there that's listening that is shopping for songs, if you see B. Clark as a writer's line, definitely grab that one.
I love that.
There you go. All right, I've been, pardon the turn of phrase, but it's just definitely a thing that we say here. I've been pimping you. Now it's time for you to pimp yourself. Brandy, this is when you can tell everybody where to find you online, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. Do you have people that do that for you? Are you that big yet, or are you still definitely very involved in the Twitter and all that?
I'm still very involved in it, and I probably always will be. There are some things that my management will tweet out, like, shows and stuff.
Right.
but I try to get on there and interact with fans as much as possible, and you know, because I think that I think people can tell when it's not you, and I mean, I can tell when it's not an artist that's doing it, and it's just their people, and I want people to feel like they can talk to me on there, and but you know, when things are really busy and I need somebody to post about shows for the weekend, that's management that does that.
They don't do
but
any
you
of
can
the
find me.
They don't do any of the opinion stuff. They just do the work related stuff, which makes sense.
Right, yeah. But you can find me, it's the Brandy Clark. All of my stuff is, you know, Instagram.thebrandyclark. Twitter, same thing.
There you go. And the biggest pimp yourself of the whole thing that we need to talk about is there's a new album. And you told me off air, because I brought it up, that the release date of the new album may be adjusted from what you'll find online. But it's a good thing. The new album, Big Day in a Small Town, originally early April, but now it's probably going to be pushed back a little bit, right?
Yeah, you know, it because of the great response that we're getting from country radio to the first single, Girl Next Door, they're talking about moving the album back a little bit so that there's a chance for the single, you know, to get some more spins and get legs and get a little higher up on the charts when the album is released, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a supply and demand. You put out a little bit, the demand grows for the album. It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Just making me a little more anxious is all for the album release. That's all.
We'll do something on April 1st, though. There'll be some sort of a pre-order. We'll do something, because that date has been out there for a while, and a lot of people I know are looking forward to it, and so we'll do something.
All right. So no concrete date yet, because it's still in flux, but we're looking forward to it a little bit after April, which isn't terrible. We're just all going to have to, you know, keep listening to 12 Stories, I think, so.
Yeah.
And the new single.
And
the new single, obviously. It's called Girl Next Door. Brandy, tell us about it, and we'll give it a spin here on the show.
Yeah, so if you want the girl next door, then go next door. I mean, that's the basic gist of it. Wrote it with Jessie Jo Dillon and Shane McAnally, and it came from a conversation that I had with Jessie Jo, where she was talking about a guy that she was dating, and Jessie Jo is beautiful and amazing and fun and smart and anything but the stereotypical girl next door. And she's talking about a guy she was dating that was wishing she was a little more like that and a little more demure and maybe, you know, a little less wild. And she said, you know, but that's what he liked about me when he met me. And I said, so what are you feeling now? And she said, I mean, I just want to say, brother, if you want the girl next door, then go next door.
Yeah.
And I just thought, man, that's a song.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of people out there that feel that way. Man and woman, you know, I mean, there's definitely the people that are just like, you know, this is me, basically. And if you don't like it, then shove off.
Exactly.
There you go. Well, Brandy, again, thank you very much for your time. I know that you're busy people, because you're out on the tour with Jennifer Nettles, and you're pushing the single, and you're working the album, and it's a busy time for you, and I'm sure it's a great time for you, and I'm so glad that you gave me a little bit of your time here for the show, and I really appreciate it, Brandy. Thanks so much.
Thank you, and thanks for playing it.
Definitely. Here she is. This is Brandy Clark with her latest single, It's Girl Next Door, right here on Off the Beaten Path Podcast with me, Ben Merritt.
When you took me home, you knew who you were taking. Not some Debbie debutante standing in an apron, frying up your bacon. My house and my mouth and my mind get kind of trashy. I've never been to jail, but hell, I wouldn't put it past me. So if you want the girl next door, some Virgin Mary metaphor, your cardboard cutout on the wall, your paper, oh, your Barbie doll with perfect hair and perfect dress. I'm really just the perfect mess, and I ain't nothing less or nothing more. So baby, if you want the girl next door, then go next door and go right now, and don't look back, don't turn around, and don't call me when you get bored. Yeah, if you want the girl next door, then go next door. next door, then go next door. The thing that turns you on is what you wanna change, but you have a better chance of slowing down a train. If you want the girl next door, some Virgin Mary metaphor, your cardboard cutout on the wall, your paper roll, your Barbie doll with perfect hair and perfect dress. I'm really just the perfect mess, and I ain't nothing less, I'm nothing more. So baby, if you want the girl next door, go next door, go right now, and don't look back, don't turn around, and don't call me when you get bored. Yeah, if you want the girl next door, then go next door.
Hey, do you know a band that I don't? Please tell me that you do, because there's so many great musicians out there that I have no idea who they are, but I want to remedy that. I want to know every country music band in the country, and the best way to do that is for you to tell me who you're listening to. OTBP Podcast on Twitter. Also find OTBP Podcast on Facebook and OTBP Podcast at gmail.com to spread the love of some of the bands that you're digging on all across the country, right here on Off the Beaten Path with me, Ben Merritt.
Your home for new and upcoming country music.
Everybody ready?
We're ready.
Let's kick the tires and light the fire.
Main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Blast off.
Off the Beaten Path with Ben Merritt.
It's gonna be a scorcher of a day, and the water is calling. Got an ice down cooler and a 17-footer we're hauling. Baby, back her down the ramp and don't jackknife it. Let's see how many people we can fit inside it. I think we got half of the town invited for some beer on a boat on a Saturday. A few good friends just floating away. The world looks better through a cool pair of shades with some beer on a boat on a Saturday. Got the girls on the inner tube, we're trying to make them lose their bikini tops. And if you ain't wet yet, then Billy's gonna get you with a belly flop. There's some boys on the dock waving and whistling, some old men yelling that we're messing up their fishing. Well, they're just jealous 'cause they know they're missing them some beer on a boat on a Saturday. A few good friends just floating away. The world looks better through a cool pair of shades with some beer on a boat on a Saturday. Ain't nothing like a sunny day to make your troubles fade away and disappear. It wouldn't be all bad if we ran out of gas and got stuck here with some ice cold beer on a boat on a Saturday. A few good friends just floating away. The world looks better through a cool pair of shades with some beer on a boat on a Saturday. Getting redder by the minute, but we got it made with some beer on a boat on a Saturday.
Off the Beaten Path podcast, me, Ben Merritt. There you go. That is Tim Duggar. And that is Beer on a Boat on a Saturday. And pretty soon, there's a good portion of the country that's already feeling that. But pretty soon, the whole United States, plus other parts of the world as well, because I'm not going to be, U.S.-centric here, because I do have some listeners over in Ireland and up in Canada and Australia. Australia, they're just coming out of their summer. Sorry, guys, but I don't even know if you guys get cold down there. Anyway, I'm moving on. Tim Duggar has shared this stage. I'm throwing myself off talking about weather patterns from across the world. Anyway, Tim Duggar shared the stage with some big names in country music. Trace Atkins, Sarah Evans, Diamond Rio, Craig Morgan, all shared the stage with Tim, and Tim has proven himself pretty good. He got to start singing some gospel music in church back at the age of 7, and it kind of just stuck. So him and his sisters, you never know. There may be a group family thing that grows from that. We'll talk about these boys. They're kind of a hometown duo, quote unquote. Hence they're from Wisconsin, and I'm in Wisconsin, so therefore they're kind of hometown. So I'll talk about them in just a little bit. But right now, here is the Mance Brothers and Back at Me. It's Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt.
She's a simple kind of beautiful, the kind that's always gonna be good enough. She got that Alabama South look down, the one that makes your jaw hit the ground. She wears a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of sass. Back roads daisy with her foot on the gas, driving me erratically wild. What a fantasy! I can see. She wears some high heel shoes, but looks better in boots. A homegrown lady with nothing to lose, living every day with a smile. She's a dream to me. I can see. My heart stops when she's staring right back at me. She's staring right back at me. When she's staring right back at me. She's staring right back at me. Oh, my mama always told me to find a woman whose heart is true, who loves her friends and her family, with thick skin and a feisty streak. Lord knows I have found one. She wears a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of sass. Back roads daisy with her foot on the gas, driving me erratically wild. What a fantasy! I can see. She wears some high heel shoes, but looks better in boots. A homegrown lady with nothing to lose, living every day with a smile. She's a dream to me. I can see. My heart stops when she's staring right back at me. She's staring right back at me. When she's staring right back at me. She's staring right back at me. A little bit of makeup and a whole lot of sass. Back roads daisy with her foot on the gas, driving me erratically wild. What a fantasy! I can see. She wears some high heel shoes, but looks better in boots. A homegrown lady with nothing to lose, living every day with a smile. She's a dream to me. I can see. My heart stops. She's staring right back at me. She's staring right back at me. When she's staring right back at me. Staring right back at me. Yeah. She's staring right back at me. She's staring right back at me.
Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt. There you go, the Mance Brothers from Central Wisconsin. That would be Jordan and Holden. Two boys that basically just grew up like normal kids, but they sound pretty darn good, don't they? They've been around for a while, actually, too, and they've been pushing their music through a bunch of radio stations here in the Midwest and moved down to Nashville, doing their thing. They've opened up for Montgomery Gentry, Lee Brice, Randy Houser, Kip Moore, Love and Theft, Jared Neiman, Emerson Drive, JT Hodges, who's a former guest, Parmalee, Chase Rice, Cole Swindell, a whole bunch of other ones, and they've played a bunch of the big music festivals, CMA Fest, Summerfest out of Milwaukee, bunch of stuff. So these guys are definitely pushing themselves to be bigger and better and grow and grow and grow. You got to show them some love. They're from Wisconsin. They're kind of like in my backyard. I'm northern Wisconsin, though. They're central Wisconsin. So anyway, that's going to do it for me this episode. Again, thank you very much for joining us and hanging out for a whole hour. I know, a whole hour of you listening to my dumb commentary on great up-and-coming country music. It'd probably be better episodes and better for you if I just stopped talking. You probably thought the episode ended right there, but it's okay. It didn't. So again, thank you very much for hanging out. Thank you very much to Brandy Clark for being one of the most cool guests ever. Not to toot my own horn, but she complimented me after that interview. So now I just sound like a jerk. Coming up next week, we've got Cody Joe Hodges going to be our special guest. Cody Joe coming to us out of Texas. Was in the military, so you got to thank him for that as well. Well, you'll hear it next week. Cody Joe Hodges, our special guest next week here on Off the Beaten Path. Thank you for joining us. See us again next week. Make sure to stop on by all of our social medias. It's easy. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all OTBP Podcast, and OTBPpodcast.com to find all our archived episodes as well. Have yourself a great week. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.